Hello, my name is Joseph Powers, and my video is on an article that I chose from the New York Times. It's the title of the the title of the article is "What If Age Is Nothing But a Mindset" by Bruce Grierson, October 22nd, 2014. Now, the intent of the article and the purpose of the article and the intent of the author was to convey an idea or a concept that everything is based on a mental concept. So our state of mind would actually depict our physical states. This could possibly put in question the physiological aspects. So the question is our age merely a mindset? Our health, people get older, they get arthritis, they get sicknesses, they're more prone to diseases and what have you. So the question is, the physiological state, which has always been a pretty reliable source of information for us, is it actually a mental or physiological state? What I've learned from this article is this is a very unconventional study, first of all. So it's a study that's not, these types of studies are not normally done. But what I've learned is that, unfortunately, although it's a very grandiose claim, and and lots of people would probably enjoy this, the physiological state, unfortunately, has a high correlation with a person's mental state, and vice versa. A person's mental state can also have a very high correlation with a person's physical state. As stated in this study, a person's state of mind depicts their physical state. Unfortunately, what I've learned is that it can be vice versa. Because in order for a person to age and say, well, I'm old and I have, arthritis and whatever, the idea of the study was they put them in an environment that was created to stimulate how things were in their 20s. So they created this environment, and these participants had to come and live there for a period of time. And although after the study there was some improvement in their health, some of them were walking better, they seemed more vibrant, it was a temporary thing. It didn't, I honestly don't believe that it lasted that long, to be honest with you. I don't think that, I think once they were back out into the area, but my whole idea is that I learned that it is a good idea, but there's always two sides to every story. The other side of the story is this, that in order for a person to even revitalize themselves, there must be a physiological aspect. There has to be physiological components. So that would be your visual, the things that are coming in to your mind from an external source. For instance, if you sit somebody into a dark room, with black wallpaper, those types of people, after a period of time, will tend to have a more negative outlook on life. Those who are in more colorful rooms and etc. have a tendency to have a more positive outlook. Environment plays a large role in a person's physical and mental states. Now, most people, after reading this article, are going to be thinking, well, what does this really have to do with physiological psychology? It has a lot to do with physiological psychology because, as I stated earlier about what I've learned, what we must understand is, although this grandiose claim seems so grandiose and it seems so wonderful, it's like, wow, if I can just change my mental state and, I'll be more healthy, I'll won't be subject to diseases and cancers and what have you. But the point of this, the reality of this is that, unfortunately, the things that are around us, for instance, when I was a young child, I was raised up, and I do believe that, we are taught that we're sick. We get colds, people die, and then when you're surrounded by this, by death and sickness and loss of parents and grandparents, I think that over a period of time, we accept these ideas and these concepts as a reality, and basically this is what's going to happen. So we prepare ourselves, and I think that sometimes our minds do have a certain amount of power to depict the outcome of our physical state. So, somebody says, oh, you need to wear a jacket when you go outside, you're going to catch a cold. We believe these things, and these concepts are a reality to us. So therefore, we create them with our minds. I do believe that. But unfortunately, how this relates to physiological psychology, it does. And where this article failed and the study failed was that they failed to acknowledge the physiological components that caused this. And the physiological components is the external input from the environment also plays a large role in our physical state, because unfortunately we have to accept these ideas into our mind in order for us to actually create the sickness. This is my video for the New York Times. Thank you.